Hi guys, today's video about something different but very useful, which is I have to make for myself and show to you because I show to you whenever I can to help you. And well, it's make perfect present for somebody, a very perfect present for somebody as well, and do good to you as well. Well, as if you're my subscriber and you're watching my videos, you know by now what I have this I'm old, of course, and I have this sun damage on my skin coming out, and it looks so ugly. I hate every little millimeter of it, but nothing I can do about it because well, I'm a very pale skinned woman living in California, and as much sunscreen I put on myself, you know, when you wash your hands or disinfect hands, that's our life about, is this kind of sunblock get disappearing. First of all, it's break you. I found finally after years and years, more almost 30 years using sunblock in California, everyone, even most expensive one, just break me. And many people have allergy for sunblocks. No, well, it's just kind of trouble for people with summer. Doesn't matter what state. Now it's a whole weather pattern is changed. You know what climate does for us now, and everybody has these problems: heat, sun, all over planet, not just all over this country. And well, when you're driving, you know, and we all drivers. No, well, when we're driving, sun get to you because your hands has to be on the wheel, and you know that UV lights going through your windows, even tinted windows, very easy. And time between like March, like especially in California, between March and end of July, it's a time when sun more close to Earth, and it's totally burn you up. No matter what you put on, it's gonna burn you up. No, well, we have hats to put over here and all this protection to put from this side, from driving side, to put to protect you from all this UV lights. But hands always on the wheel, and hands always got exposed to sun. That's how I got my this spots going on. No, well, I'm gonna make some cover for my hands. What I can just long gloves, but not on the fingers. I can slide it down if I want to, but usually here is those sunspots don't come up. They start coming like from here and up. No, well, sun damage. No, well, that's why I'm gonna make that long sleeve, like because you know we punching phones. No, well, we don't want to close fingers, but from this point and up, something like that, which is this manufacturing one. See, right here is something for finger right here, and the rest is going up like that. But it's just not enough coverage because sun going through this lace very easy. No, well, I want to make from cotton something very light, like see-through cotton, very light, and what it will be weightless for me and not too hot, but higher. What it can cover my short sleeve dresses or no sleeveless tops. What I'm driving in. I usually don't wear sleeveless because I'm too old for it to expose my elder arms, but something like that, but long. No, well, that's what we're gonna make right now, and let me start it. What you need this cotton, what I told you, very light. Well, recycle if you can. Find something you can make from anything practically, but you can find something very light, like light blouse in a thrift store or on garage sale, and rip that blouse on these pieces and make what I'm making right now. And you make sure what don't have to be that wide. In my case, yes, because I'm going all the way up. I'm tired of all the way to short sleeve, and my arm is still fat on the top because I'm fat woman. I'm losing weight. I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it. But if I ever lose weight, I will tell you how I did it. I only lost like 20 pounds, pick up 2 or 3 out of them in 1 year, and kind of freeze. But I'm working on it. And well, that's why I keep wide here, but over there it's going to be narrow. No, well, just cut this for now piece of material like that. Just start it with scissors and then with your rip. That's how you do it. I have very wide, super wide fabric here because it's industrial tinka right here. No, well, I make sure I make few of them here. And of course, better something light, like almost white, like what I'm having right now, because again, it's make your life much more, your sun better have light stuff, because sun attract the dark colors attract sun. White will keep it away from you. And make decision how far you want to go. Short one, you want to have this one, you have to have long. In my case, I do need to have long. Well, make longer as you think, because by the time what you make it and try it on, you will obviously know what maybe it's not a right length, and maybe will be too short. Make sure you make longer. From longer you always can make shorten. And then you kind of you cut two of them, obviously. You try it, you make sure it's going like that, more narrow, but not too narrow, because you're gonna put elastic here just like this one. Not too narrow. We're gonna put elastic here to keep it comfortable, because you know you have to have your movement. No, well, not too narrow. This is about width what I suggested, which is what it does. It's about I will guess 6 inches. 6 inches width right here, no less. 6 inches, double 12 inches all around here on the bottom, and here as much as you want. Okay, and then let me go to machine and show to you how to do it without surgeon, without anything else. By the way, you have little pieces left like that. Don't throw up nothing, recycle everything. Later on, for winter time, I'm gonna make just a short one, just like this one, very short one, just to cover my hand, in case, for driving experience, in case I have long sleeve to wear, or 7/8 sleeve, no, what I'm gonna cover. No, I'm gonna make short version of the same, and especially it's important for commuters. Okay, let's sew. Okay, guys, as you can see, I left here 8 inches because my hands are still big, but in your case, 7 inches will be enough. And let me show to you again how to escape that use an overlock in this case. Well, as you can see, this is my side of fabric. That's why it's not... I'm gonna leave it just as it is, with little fringe like that, because as less I have on my hands in this case, it's I'm not up to beauty purpose of it. I'm about good look and practicality right now. No, well, I'm not gonna close that and run all the seams here. I will just put little piece of lace here to give it character, and that's it. But these seams I have to close, it's obviously, and so this seam I have to close. No, well, how am I gonna do it? I'm gonna put this one against my logic, such as front to front, and stitch that seam out completely. This is my seam. This is back fabric. This is front, this is front. Against logic, I'm stitching right here, and I'm making 1/4 inch seam all the way up. Now when it's all done, I turn right on the inside. This is my inside. This is my inside again, because I did run seam on the front. And now what I'm gonna do, if you not manage to run few millimeters on that seam or 1/4 inch, cut it to 1/4 inch minimum, that seam. And now you just run another seam right here by side of it, to make sure that seam which is you have under is covered, but it's not gonna sticking out of new seam. No, well, in my case, because that seam was 1/4 inch, this one will be just 1 millimeter too wider as 1/4 inch, but not quite 1/2 inch, because you don't want thick seams. Now when I turn it right way again, look what happened. I don't have any kind of garbage out of it. It's perfectly fine seam right here, and we escape using overlock. Now leave these things open if you can. If you don't have this, if you have raven cut it, and you really need to close it as less as possible. In my next video I will show you how to run as fancy seam as possible on something else, but right now you close either way you can, no more as 1/2 inch obviously. And on the top here, now it's time to measure how long your sleeve be. Just slide your hand there and figure up. I decide my sleeve will be a whole 17 inches long, and what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna close that with about 1/2 inch, a little bit more as 1/2 inch, but not quite 3/4 seam like that. When you start in it, leave that little hole there for elastic. Start somewhere over this seam, like right here somewhere. pass the seam like 1 inch or just half inch at least, and leave about half inch hole for elastic, and I will show you how to run that elastic. Alright guys, my idea kept this French on the bottom did not work because another sleeve what I cut did not have that French. I had to close them, and I closed with most fancy seam on the earth. Look at see, it's like 1 millimeter. Oh, let me better light here. 1 millimeter seam, as you can see right here. Most fancy hem you can possibly have. And how to run it, this is not a subject for this video. I will subscribe, but you will not miss it. I will make separate video how to make this more fancy seam at all on a scarf, on some see-through scarf, on some fancy scarf. But anyways, that's not, I will show you how to do that. It's actually easy if you know what to do. And well, now we're not gonna run on the bottom of this sun sleeve, sun protection sleeve. We're not gonna run elastic, and I'll explain to you in a minute why. But in the end, we will, to make it stay that thing. It depends how far you go. You're going all the way up like I go to close all my arm, because I don't like this even little damage from sun, and nothing, trust me, no creams can protect you. If you're young enough, do what I'm doing right now when I'm old, because nothing can protect you from UV lights. Just no chemicals. You will get it. You think you will not get it? Yes, you will. No, well, to prevent that, only sun protection garment like what we're making right now. And in the end of it, of course, you can put some lace there to make it fancy, but for me it's practicality. No, well, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. I will just leave plain like that. And let me show you now what elastic to put on the top, and how to, why we don't need elastic here. First of all, when you choose your elastics, of course you want to have a smallest one of all, not too wide, right? Like this one, 1/4 inch elastic what I have here. But the problem is with elastics, I do have separate video about elastics and why they're stretching. Well, first of all, elastics can be vintage elastic like this one, come in a cotton, practically cotton, and only that elastic embedded in this cotton is actually give you this elasticity. And this elastic stays so stretchy, so good. It's not stiff at all. It's so soft. But this is vintage elastic. It's very hard to find. Only that elastic you can find, even if you can find it. But if it's been beat up by sun, it's losing that elasticity. I have separate video about elasticity of elastics, why elastic worn out, and I will place in right above my token, and also in the end of this video I'm placing that one that you will have your knowledge about elastic. But this one what I have here, it's a tiny one, but it's kind of much more stiffer as this one. It's stiffness in stretching, and it's stiffness just in touching. No, well, instead this one 1/4 inch, I still choose to put my between 1/4 and half inch, not quite half inch, but vintage one, because it's so much more comfortable. That's the reason why I run this on the top. I run this seam half inch, because your seam what you put elastic in has to match width of your elastic what you plan. You choose elastic before you run seam, because if you make too wide that way for elastic will turn and twist, will drive you nuts in washing, and it's going to become all mess very fast. But if it's close to width of your space where it goes, that hem what you put there, it's mean it's gonna stay better. And let me show to you in a moment how to run that elastic inside that seam. Okay, one more little detail. If you guys messed up like I did on one sleeve, and because it's very hard just to run that French seam, what we call, or seam without overlock, it's going against every sense of sewing you have, because you have to run it on the face of your fabric. Because I'm sewing like for 50 years, it's just all my habits, all my hands do it by itself. No, well, I did not put right that seam, and it's come up outside my sleeve. Don't worry about it. Leave like that. Okay, you can run seam like that out. For whom you can run it? For people with cancer, for example, or people sensitive for those seams inside. Would make sure what it's no seam inside to burden them, and have all these seams on a garment like that, practical garment what we're making now, outside that. No, well, leave it like that. You can run the same seam without overlock, but leave it outside, because when you're wearing that seam, it's going under anyway. But from inside, nothing gonna burden you. And by the way, for walking, you can make it. If you're walking in the mountains, if you like to run, you can do this stuff. You can make it in plain, beige color, or anything like that. They do sell them, I believe. China sells them, make them and sell them, but it's kind of short ones and just not staying good. No, well, better make by yourself. No, well, you measure that elastic around how far you, depend how far your sleeve go, put sleeve on and measure, wrap elastic around that part where it's go, doesn't matter short, medium or long, and then you put safety pin to it, and then what you do, that hole what we miss it right here, half-inch hole right here. Remember I told you don't stitch it, miss half-inch hole. Slide your safety pin there, okay? And start to running all elastic all through. By the way, when you measure how long your elastic should be, measure that way, that's how you do it, you're running like that. Measure that way, that elastic, what it will be not too tight, because remember this is all about, it's only have to stay, prevent sliding here. You know, you're not gonna walk too much, do movement in it. You will just sit in a car and drive. No, well, and your arm kind of will be like halfway elevated on the wheels. That's why it's don't have to be too tight. Don't make yourself uncomfortable. Whole idea of that to be comfortable and protected at the same time. All right, after you get to end, again to same hole what you started, make sure you kind of wiggle and wiggle. This is all about, when you run that elastic, make sure it's not twisted anywhere, what it's lay all flat inside the place what you're running. Pull out the safety pin out completely. And now it's time to stitch it. Get rid of the safety pin and stitch it right here, over like that, or like that, doesn't matter, but stitch it permanent right here. After you stitch it permanently, just pull in, make sure all elastic height there, pull up like that. As you can see, my elastic very, very, very loose, and that's what I want to have, because that's gonna stay there, because your arm is elevated halfway. And why we don't need elastic here, let me explain to you, because this piece what we're gonna stitch right here gonna prevent from sliding up that sleeve. All right, how far you stitch that hole for your thumb to get in? It has to go this way, at least 1 3/4, maybe even 2 inches to make room for you. This way about 1 3/4, and this one no more is 1 inch. That's how you stitching it. Alright guys, as you can see, I got my sun protection sleeve, and I make it wider here on a purpose, because I make pleat right here, see? Right here going, because I want this room here. I want that cool room here for my coolness, and I don't want this thing to affect my driving abilities. I want to have good grip on my wheel and all that. Especially it's important for computers. And of course I can add lace for beauty stuff. And it's make big difference. Now I just need to throw in my car, and it's going to be stay there just for my driving. And along with my cover for my sunglasses, which is another perfect gift. What I already explained to you how to do it. And in the end of this in the end of this video, I place for you instructions how to do that, and a lot of things you can, very little sewing and so big help with that. No, well, thank you for your watching, guys. And again, if you don't know how to don't have sewing machine at all, hand stitching, I'm placing above my token another hand stitching video. Pay attention to those videos popping out in top right corner in a black line. Pay attention to them, because it's all something to help you with this project, something related to it. Usually 90% of them related to this topic. Okay guys, thank you for watching, thank you for your time.